Close your eyes. Ignore the screen for a moment. Just listen. Can you feel that? That is the sound of your life, not slipping away but flowing. It is a current, a relentless, unceasing river that carries you from the cradle to the grave. Open your eyes. Most of us live in the drift. We wake up, we react. The alarm screams, and we jolt into a world that demands our attention before our feet even touch the floor. We check the phone, we drink the coffee, we drive the same route, we sit in the same chair, we have the same conversations, and we call this living. But have you ever stopped in the quiet of the night when the house is still and the world has stopped demanding things of you? Have you ever stopped to wonder who is driving this ship? We are obsessed with the spectacular. We look at the billionaire, the athlete, the master artist, and we see the moment of their victory. We see the gold medal. We see the IPO. We see the masterpiece hanging in the gallery, and we think one day my moment will come. We wait for the lightning strike. We wait for the lottery win of destiny. But history whispers a different truth. The universe does not deal in lightning strikes. It deals in erosion. It deals in accretion. It deals in the slow, terrifying, and beautiful accumulation of the tiny. The Grand Canyon was not carved by a sledgehammer. It was carved by a river, simply persisting day after day, year after year, eon after eon. This is the secret that sits in plain sight. The secret so obvious we miss it entirely. You are not what you want to be. You are not what you dream of being. You are what you do, repeatedly. Your life as it stands right now, your health, your bank account, your relationships, your peace of mind, is not a result of one big decision. It is the sum total of your habits. You are a monument to your daily rituals. Let us talk about the math of the soul. There is a concept in finance known as compound interest. Albert Einstein reportedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. Money begets money. But this law applies to more than just gold. It applies to your behavior. Imagine a plane taking off from Los Angeles, bound for New York. If the pilot adjusts the nose of that plane by just 3 degrees south, a tiny shift barely noticeable on the dashboard, the plane does not land in New York. It lands in Washington, D.C., a continent away. That tiny adjustment, that is your morning routine. That is the extra 10 minutes of reading. That is the one less spoon of sugar. That is the moment you chose to listen instead of speak. In the moment, it feels like nothing. And this is the great trap. This is why we fail, because the immediate feedback of a good habit is usually silence. If you go to the gym today, you will not look in the mirror tonight and see a Greek god. If you save the compound effect, the math of the soul. $10 today, you are not a millionaire tomorrow. If you sit in meditation for 20 minutes, you are not suddenly enlightened. The world gives you no applause for the single act, and conversely, the world gives you no punishment for the single error. If you eat the fast food today, you do not have a heart attack tonight. If you procrastinate on your dream for 1 hour, your career does not collapse. The cost of a bad habit is delayed. The reward of a good habit is delayed. So we drift. We choose the immediate comfort, the immediate dopamine, the immediate ease. But listen to me closely. Time will magnify whatever you feed it. Time is the multiplier. If you are on a good trajectory, time is your ally. If you are on a bad trajectory, time is your enemy. 10 years from now, you will arrive at a destination that is inevitable. The question is, will you arrive at a destination you chose? Or will you arrive at a shipwreck caused by 1,000 tiny leaks you ignored because they seem too small to matter? But this goes deeper than just results. This is not just about productivity or success. This is about identity. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. When you write 1 page, you are casting a vote for I am a writer. When you pick up the violin, you are casting a vote for I am a musician. When you choose the salad over the fries, you are casting a vote for I am healthy. Whatever you repeat, you reinforce. The neuroscientists call this long-term potentiation. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Imagine walking through a dense forest. The first time you walk a new path, it is difficult. You have to hack through the brambles. It is slow, it is painful, but if you walk that path again tomorrow, the grass is trampled, and the next week, a dirt trail forms, and in a year, it is a highway. Your brain loves efficiency. It wants to turn your behaviors into automatic software. It wants to stop thinking and start doing. This is a double-edged sword. If you practice anger every day, if you practice jealousy, if you practice laziness, your brain will build a highway to those emotions. You will become a master of your own misery. You won't even have to try to be unhappy. It will happen automatically. But the reverse is where the magic lies. You can sculpt your mind. You can carve new canyons in your own gray matter. You are not a fixed object. You are fluid. You are a process. Many of you carry a heavy narrative. You tell yourselves, I'm just not a morning person. I'm just not disciplined. I'm just bad with money. Stop. These are not biological facts. These are calcified habits. These are stories you have repeated so many times they have hardened into concrete. But concrete can be broken. The power of the daily habit is not just that it changes what you have. It changes who you believe you. Our transformation does not begin with a grand epiphany. It does not begin with a vision quest. It begins with the humility to do one small thing correctly again and again. So where do we begin? The biology of belief, rewiring your identity. How do we break the chains of the old self and step into the sunlight of the new? We must stop looking at the horizon and start looking at the feet. We must master the point of entry. The point of entry, the greatest lie we tell ourselves is that we need motivation to act. We wait to feel like doing the work. We wait for a sudden surge of inspiration to carry us out the door. But motivation is a fair weather friend. It is fickle. It leaves you when the rain starts. The masters, the ones who truly build a legacy. They do not wait for the feeling. They understand the physics of friction. Consider a steam locomotive, a massive iron beast. When it is sitting still, you can prevent it from moving with a single, small wooden block wedged under the wheel. A single block. But once that train is moving, once it has built up momentum, it can smash through a reinforced concrete wall without slowing down. The hardest part of any habit is not the work itself. The run is not hard. The writing is not hard. The hard part is the start. The hard part is the transition from stillness to motion. So we must lower the bar. We must make the start so easy, so ridiculously small that we cannot say no. We call this the 2-minute rule. You do not set out to run a marathon. You set out to put on your running shoes. That is the only goal. You do not set out to write a novel. You set out to write one sentence. You do not set out to meditate for an hour. You set out to close your eyes for 60 seconds. You optimize for the start because a habit must be established before it can be improved. You cannot optimize a habit that does not exist. Most people try to build a skyscraper on quicksand. They try to do the perfect workout on day 1 and they burn out by day 3. Build the foundation first. Master the art of showing up. Even if it is just for 2 minutes, even if it feels silly. You are not training your body yet. You are training your will. You are proving to yourself that you are the captain of this ship. But even with the best intentions, we stumble. Why? Because we overestimate our willpower and we underestimate our environment. We like to think we are rational beings. We like to think we are in control. But deep down, we are simple creatures. We are guided by what we see. We are guided by the path of least resistance. If you want to understand why you have bad habits, look at the room you are sitting in. Is the junk food sitting on the counter staring at you? Is the remote control placed right next to the best chair? Is your phone the first thing you can reach when you wake up? You are fighting a war against your own environment, and your environment is winning. Willpower is a battery. It drains. By 8 p.m., when you are the ignition point, the 2-minute rule tired, when the world has taken its toll, you do not have the energy to fight the environment. You will grab the cookie. You will click the app. So the wise architect does not rely on willpower. The wise architect designs a life where willpower is unnecessary. If you want to play the guitar, do not hide it in the closet. Put it in the middle of the living room on a stand. Make it trip you up. If you want to drink more water, fill 5 bottles in the morning and place them everywhere you look. If you want to stop scrolling, charge your phone in the kitchen, not the bedroom. Make the good habit the path of least resistance. Make the bad habit a mountain to climb. It is said that water flows where the channel is dug. Dig the channel. Don't be the victim of your architecture. Be the architect. And now, we must speak of the chains, the habits that hold us back, the invisible rituals that drain our spirit. Every bad habit you possess serves a purpose. It solves a problem. You are stressed, the cigarette solves it. You are bored, the social media scroll solves it. You are lonely, the video game solves it. Your brain is not trying to hurt you. It is trying to help you. It is trying to soothe you. But it has found a solution that destroys you in the long run. How do we break these chains? We cannot just stop. Nature apps a vacuum. If you rip out a bad habit and leave a hole, the weeds will grow back. You must replace the solution. But first, you must see the cue. You must see the trigger. Most of us are sleepwalking. We feel stress, and before we even think, we are eating the sugar. We feel boredom, and the phone is in our hand. It is automatic. You must turn the lights on in the dark room of your impulses. Next time you feel the urge, pause. Just pause. Ask yourself, what am I really feeling right now? Am I hungry or am I just anxious? Am I tired or am I just bored? Name the demon. When you name it, it loses its power. I am not hungry. I am bored. And in that moment of awareness, you have a choice. You have created a gap between the stimulus and the response. And in that gap lies your freedom. It will be uncomfortable. The craving will scream at you like a toddler denied a toy. Let it scream. Sit with the discomfort. It will pass. It is a wave, and you are the shore. This is the crucible of character. This is where the old self dies and the new self is born. Not in the easy moments, but in the moment you stare down the urge and choose the harder path. Because the harder path eventually becomes the only path worth walking. There is a place where dreams go to die. It is not a place of violence. It is a place of silence. A place of waiting. We call it the valley of disappointment. You see, we expect progress to be linear. We think if we put in 10 units of work, we should get 10 units of results. We expect the graph to go up in a straight, the architecture of desire, designing your environment line. But the universe is exponential. Imagine an ice cube sitting on a table in a freezing room. The temperature is 25 degrees. You heat the room to 26, the ice does not melt. 27, nothing happens. 28, still nothing. 29, 30, 31. You have spent hours pouring energy into that room. You have done the work, but the evidence of your work is invisible. You feel like a failure. You feel like giving up. And then 32 degrees, the ice begins to melt. Was it the last degree that did the work? No. It was all the degrees that came before it. It was the stored energy building up unseen beneath the surface. This is where most people quit. They quit at 31 degrees. They work out for a month and see no change in the mirror, so they stop. They write for a year and have no audience, so they stop. They are standing inches from the gold vein, but the wall looks just as thick as it did when they started. If you are struggling right now, if you are working in the dark and seeing no light, listen to me. Your work is not wasted. It is being stored. You are not failing. You are charging. You are building potential energy. When the breakthrough comes, it will look like an overnight success to the outside world. But you will know the truth. You will know about the days at 26 degrees. Do not let the silence of the results fool you. The dam is about to break, but let us be real. You are human. You are biological. You are flawed. You will stumble. There will be a day when the chaos of life takes over. You will miss the workout. You will eat the pizza. You will lose your temper. Perfection is not the goal. Perfection is a trap. Perfection is a rigid statue that shatters when it falls. We do not want to be statues. We want to be water. The difference between the amateur and the master is not that the master never fails. It is that the master never fails twice. This is the law of recovery. If you miss a day, it is an accident. If you miss 2 days, it is the start of a new habit. The slide into mediocrity does not happen when you make a mistake. It happens when you let the mistake become a pattern. The danger is the all or nothing mentality. We tell ourselves, Well, I ruined my diet this morning, so I might as well ruin the whole week. That is madness. If you get a flat tire, do you slash the other three? No, you change the tire. You get back on the road. Do not judge yourself by your worst day. Judge yourself by how quickly you recover from it. Forgive yourself instantly. Be ruthless with your execution, but gentle with your spirit. Get back on the path immediately. The path is always there waiting for you. And so we come to the end, or rather the beginning. We are obsessed with goals. I want to run a marathon. I want to write a book. I want to lose 20 lay-bees. But goals are finite. Goals have finish lines. What happens when you cross the finish line? What happens when you lose the weight? Do you, the invisible chains, breaking bad habits? Stop? If you treat life as a series of finish lines, you will always be empty. You will always be chasing the next high. True change is not about reaching a destination. It is about becoming. We do not rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. The goal is not to read a book. The goal is to become a reader. The goal is not to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. The goal is not to do something. The goal is to be someone. This is the architecture of the soul. It is a quiet work. It is a humble work. It is done in the early mornings and the late nights. It is done when no one is watching. It is done not for applause, but for the quiet satisfaction of knowing that you are mastering the only thing you truly own, yourself. So tomorrow morning when the alarm rings, do not think about the years ahead. Do not think about the mountain you have to climb. Just think about the first step. Put on the shoes. Open the